I'm Mark Bryant with our season preview series of Big South basketball in 2023-24. Happy to have with you now Coach Quinton Ferrell, PC Blue Hose men's basketball. Coach, thanks for being here.
Mark, thanks for having me.
Appreciate that. Let's talk first off what I did over my summer vacation, right? The squad went to Italy. What was that experience like for the team? Where'd you go, and who'd you compete against?
Yeah, no, that was a phenomenal trip for our program. We went to Rome first. We started off in Rome. Then we ended up going to Florence and Milan. Spent a little bit of time on Lake Como, so the guys really enjoyed that part of the trip. But all in all, it was a great trip for us to really bond. We had a mixture of returners, but then we also had brought in a bunch of new guys. And so I thought early on in our journey, it was really great for the program, for those guys to spend that time, not in America, foreign soil, you know what I mean, and just get to spend a lot of time together on the day-to-day doing the tours, traveling to the different cities and things like that. So I think that was the biggest thing we took away from the trip, the bonding, the camaraderie, the cohesiveness that was developed, the chemistry. And then also we played against two professional teams there, which was great because it was grown men, really good competition. And so we got an early snapshot of, what we might be capable of come March. So it was good to see that.
Excellent. So how would you say that experience is carried over into preseason practice, and how has that been going for what expectations do you have coming out of preseason?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is I think we're a lot further ahead than we typically are at this time, just because, in the summertime, not only were we lifting weights and doing individual workouts, but we were putting in sideline out of bounds, baseline out of bounds, and getting ready to prepare for a game. And so it made us practice more like October in June and July to get ready to go play games against other people. And so I think what we're seeing coming back now that we got started back in the fall is that we're further along with, our system just as a whole, offensively and defensively, rotations on defense, execution on offense. So hopefully, early on in the season, we'll see those dividends from that, and we'll be playing at a higher level earlier in the year.
Well, with so much under your belt already, obviously I would think you have a good handle on these guys, and what returnees you're counting on to be leaders, and then which players are challenging for spots among your main rotation.
Yeah, well, it's interesting for me because I'm going into my 5th year, and this is by far the oldest team I've had. We have 2 fifth-year seniors. We have 4 guys that are in their 4th year, and then we have 2 guys that are in their junior year. So my top 8 guys, they're all old veteran guys. And so I think that showed up in a lot of ways early on, just the experience of knowing what a college season is from the summertime to the preseason when you get back in the fall. And so I think we've seen really good leadership early on amongst the group, just their ability to communicate with one another. I think that's something that has stood out to me, early on, just our ability to communicate at a high level.
Any players in particular we should be looking at?
Yeah, well, Trayvon Reddish, who's a guy that's been a staple in our program the last 3 seasons, so he's going into his 5th year, his 4th year in our program, so he'll be one of our captains. But Marquise Barnett's been with me for 3 years, Kobe Stewart, these guys are veteran players. We brought in a couple of new guys, Caleb Scott from Georgia State, who's going into his 4th year, who's a experienced player, played in the NCAA tournament his freshman year, Jamari Harvey from UNCW. So we have some older guys that bring in a lot of experience, and they've done a good job early on leading the guys.
Well, you have a 15-game non-conference schedule before you even get to 16 games of conference play. That includes an appearance at the UNF tournament. Who are some of the notable opponents you have on the schedule, and who's coming to Clinton?
We play Furman, who's right down the road, who had a tremendous season last year, and obviously won a conference championship, won a first-round game in the NCAA tournament. So we'll get to go to Furman. We play Wake Forest, and Coach Forbes always does a tremendous job with their program out of the ACC. I'm excited we have 7 home games this year in the non-conference. Home games against the Citadel, Tennessee Tech, Kennesaw State, that kind of highlight our home game schedule for the non-conference. So just really excited all in all what we were able to put together from home games to high-profile teams that had a lot of success in the past and some challenging road games.
Well, we look forward to seeing how it all plays out. And Coach, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck to you and all the Blue Hose this season. Thanks so much, and thank you for watching another edition of our Big South previews for basketball in 2023-24.